Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen. For the new members, kindly remember to subscribe and touch the notification bell so that the next time we go online, you can be able to get an alert. A shout out to all of you who have actually supported us since day one, and shout out to all of you who are here courtesy of Team Cartoon and Team Shalon from Cartoon Finest Family Channel YouTube. So guys, you should go there and see actually what these wonderful young two individuals are doing. They are doing a wonderful job. They have comedy, they have pranks, and oh my god, they just crack your ribs. Now the striker today takes us one-on-one to the developing stories in the country. Now, some few days ago, a suspected Al-Shabaab member was actually arrested in Nairobi. And why this individual was arrested is that it is said that he was trying to bribe individuals in a certain high-end club in the city to get information about this particular club. Now, first, it is a shout out, or it is a congratulatory note to the individuals who denied to be given up to 180,000 Kenya shillings to give information, but chose to give or to alert the security agencies of the country concerning the presence of such an individuals within that particular locality. It is not easy. Times are bad, and if somebody came and told you, I want to give you 180,000 and you give me such information, you can easily be tempted. So it is a very high congratulatory note to these individuals who actually alerted the security agencies about a person who is ready to give up to 180,000 to get information about a certain club in the city. However, one thing that developed out of it, or one thing I learned from out of it, is the fact that terror groups are actually out and are ready to use as much as they can to ensure that they get information and be able to accomplish their missions to the best of their knowledge and to the best of their abilities. It also tells me that these are groups that are highly funded, because if imagine somebody wants to give out 180,000 just to get information about a certain place, just like that, it tells you how much these groups have in their disposal that will help them in collecting intelligence, even transporting their guns, and even planning for their attacks. So it goes back to our security system that terror groups are highly funded, they have a lot of financial stability, and they have a lot of financial flow. And the only way that you want to avoid cases of this financial ability of terror groups affecting the security stability and the system in the country is, first of all, the country's security system being financially sustaining, financially stable, and financially cognizant of the needs of its security personnel. So you get a police officer, he's paid, let me say, 40,000 a month. And there's a terrorist who wants to give out 180,000, not even a month, within 30 minutes of giving information. When you look at the working conditions of this security officer, they are very poor. So this 180,000 is like the salary of this officer for 4 months, if not 3.5 months. So don't you think that it is very easy for a police officer or for security personnel to be rewarded by this financial give out by terrorists and give them information? Not actually because they want to give, but because their working conditions are poor, very poor, they are poorly paid, and they also have families and needs to cater for. So for me is that even when we talk about police reforms in the country, can we start by reforming how we place our police officers? How are their working conditions? How are they paid? They are very, very important in this country. The security personnel, it doesn't matter whether they are the government trained security personnel, that is the police officers, or the private security personnel that are actually employed by different private companies. So these people are the gateway. We place them at our gates. And they are the people who are supposed to guard our gates. They are supposed to man our entry points and exit points in malls, supermarkets, clubs, hotels, and so forth. So if we don't pay them well, or if we don't take care of their working conditions well, we place them at a very vulnerable situation to be easily enticed by terror groups. Another thing that came into my mind is with regard to the audacity of terror groups. Actually, it has reached a point now they are very much open when they come to get data. You know, when you go to a place and then that I'm ready to give you this amount of money, you give me this information. It's like it's becoming an open thing, and we should start asking ourselves, do we have Al-Shabaab cells within the country? The probability is 99.9% that we have Al-Shabaab cells within our country. And while we will be fighting Al-Shabaab in Somalia, I think it's high time we started asking ourselves, do we need to fight the group from within? Do we have Al-Shabaab members from within? Because it's not surprising that the people who are now giving information to Al-Shabaab are Kenyans from within who are actually living with us. So for me, it's all about how do we coordinate our security, our surveillance, and our personnel system in general? Have we paid our security officers well? Have we given them good working conditions? Then, have we established good surveillance mechanisms and systems? Do we have the required technology? The next thing, do we have a process that is effective, fast, and efficient when it comes to fast tracking cases of suspected terror individuals? You know, terrorists take up to maybe 2 years to plan an attack, and then you give police officers 24 hours to actually track this case and present this person in court and provide evidence for everything. It's sometimes not practical. So which modalities have we laid down to ensure that everything is effective and efficient in terms of handling terror suspected cases in the country? Otherwise, watch out. We came with Nyumba Kumi initiatives. How much do you know your neighbor? That is also another question that goes to the general public. Because remember, security is your responsibility and it begins with you. Thank you so much. Let's meet again. Test Striker.